is shocking.
Caitlin Clark will be sidelined for at least 2 weeks
with a quad injury.
Footage has emerged how Caitlin Clark got hurt.
He fouls her for the 4th time. It's cheating.
Many WNBA fans are calling out the referee problem.
The referees literally turned their back.
People said Caitlin Clark would change the WNBA. They said she'd bring more fans and energy. But no one expected the league to push back against her. In just a few games, Caitlin Clark went from the most hyped rookie to the most targeted player on the court.
Caitlin Clark is the driving force behind the interest in the Fever and the interest in the WNBA.
Rookie Caitlin Clark was subject to several intentional fouls.
And it wasn't just the other teams. This wasn't just tough defense or a typical welcome to the pros. What fans saw felt more planned and more serious.
After every single game, WNBA players, fans, coaches are all complaining about the referees, and they have shown that they're not going to change anything because the referees continue to be horrible.
Game after game, Clark was pushed, hit, and the refs didn't step in. The people meant to keep things fair stayed quiet. It kept getting worse. At first, they just missed calls. Then they stopped calling them at all. She was hit hard, knocked to the floor, and no whistle blew.
Felines head coach Stephanie White, she was complaining about her team not getting a whistle, not being respected.
Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, the league's biggest star went out with a quad injury. That set off questions and outrage. Now, every missed foul, every shove, and every time Clark looked at a ref and got no response felt like more than just bad luck.
She will be out for 2 weeks minimum following a quad strain.
Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham going to the officials and trying to, ask for an explanation of what had just occurred. That official completely stonewalled them.
It started to feel personal. But then came the surprise. New reports are uncovering bigger problems with how the WNBA handles officiating.
This is a WNBA problem, and as more and more eyeballs are watching this league, it becomes growingly an issue. The officiating feels you never have a true grasp on what it's going to be.
Most referees don't have much experience beyond the G League. And the rules? They're not just called by the refs. A behind-the-scenes group of coaches, GMs, and league officials decides how physical the game is allowed to be.
The referees are not listening to them. They're not listening to the coaches. They're not listening to the players. They're not listening to the fans. They're listening to their stakeholders. That's why I keep saying nothing is going to change till the mindset and whoever's running all of this, the stakeholders, governance, whoever these people are.
And Caitlin, she's caught in the middle where politics, power, and money collide. After weeks of frustration, viral moments, and public outcry from coaches, players, and fans, the WNBA now faces a crisis it can't ignore.
If this injury does anything, it should be a wake-up call to the WNBA, the Players Association, the team owners, that just like that, all this fanfare, all this interest, all this newfound attention on the league can disappear overnight.
There are rumors of lawsuits and questions about whether the refs were ever truly fair. This could be the moment everything changes. The real question now: how far will the league go to silence the star they were supposed to build around? Type #100 if you're a true Caitlin Clark fan.
Caitlin Clark is being roughed up, but the physical wear and tear on Caitlin Clark, I'm not surprised that 2 weeks into the season, she's already got an injury.
Caitlin Clark was always known for being tough. At Iowa, she was unstoppable, breaking records, bringing in millions of fans, and changing the game. When she joined the WNBA, the expectations were huge, not just for her skills, but for the excitement she'd bring to a league that needed it.
2024 was a year of unprecedented growth in viewership in the WNBA, a substantial amount of which can be attributed to Caitlin Clark, who took the basketball world by storm after an all-time college career.
Who had appeared in 185 consecutive games between her career at Iowa and her time with the Indiana Fever. 139 games with the Iowa Hawkeyes. She never missed one.
And for a while, it worked. More people bought tickets. TV ratings went up. But what happened next wasn't celebration. It was trouble. From her very first pro game, it was clear. Teams didn't just want to beat her. They wanted to stop her by any means.
Caitlin Clark, somebody who was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season, including revenue from merchandise, ticket sales, and television.
Caitlin Clark out at least 2 weeks waited, but can the WNBA maintain without her? Can the WNBA pack arenas, draw ratings?
Every game, Clark faced tough defense that felt more like punishment. Players chased her everywhere, pushed her, knocked her down, and the refs barely called anything. No matter how rough it got, the whistle stayed quiet.
The referees just exposed their hand so bad, bro. I mean, they just didn't care no more. They didn't care. The world was watching how bad the cause was. They didn't care at all. They was going to get their issue off against the Fever no matter what. And I'm here to tell you, that's exactly what went down, bro. They have an agenda against Caitlin Clark.
Most top rookies get some protection, but Clark had to fight on her own. And the league's answer? She has to adjust. But why was she the only one who had to change?
Said the reason that people are complaining is because they haven't watched the WNBA before, and these are just new fans who don't understand. But there's clearly an issue.
Then came the injury. After playing tired and averaging 35 minutes a game, Caitlin was out for at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain.
Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has suffered a left quadricep strain and will be out for a minimum of 2 weeks.
It was a big loss for the Indiana Fever and the WNBA's biggest star. But many fans didn't think it was just bad luck. They saw it as the result of constant rough play, missed fouls, and the league not protecting her.
Caitlin Clark appears to be hunted every game. She deals with physicality that no other player in the league is dealing with. The WNBA not stepping in to protect their cash cow, their only draw, their only star. And this is the end result.
This didn't have to happen. It could have been stopped. What made it worse was the silence. The league said nothing about how Clark was treated. No statements. No apologies. Just another player on the injury list. But this player mattered a lot. She was the face of the league. And she wasn't hurt because she couldn't handle it. She was hurt because the system didn't protect her.
It's the Caitlin Clark disrespect. And what I mean by that is you've got somebody who is obviously the most popular player in basketball. You got somebody that I would argue maybe a top 5 most popular athlete in the United States of America. All right. You got this athlete in a league that nobody's been watching, never turned a profit, and your system is broken against that team.
Even other players noticed. Kelsey Mitchell, Clark's teammate, quietly told her to listen to your body, showing she knew Clark was pushing harder than most. Fans saw it. The media saw it. Now everyone's asking, why was the WNBA's biggest star left unprotected? And who benefits from keeping her off the court?
Kelsey Mitchell said even if there is a injury, hopefully it's just, like a little nagging thing. And again,
take care of your body and just make sure you... I think recovery is everything. I think if you're in tune to your body, you know what you need. This is Caitlin.
The more fans looked into WNBA referees, the worse it seemed. Some refs went from high school games straight to the pros, missing important G League experience. They aren't experienced pros. Many are learning as they go during the league's most important games. And that lack of experience is clear, especially with Caitlin Clark.
For you guys, and they do not talk about it here. And that's why I also don't want us to personally attack some of these referees. I think they're doing their job. If they are hiring referees who basically didn't have any experience but high school refereeing jobs, and then they did a stint in the G League, like these referees actually aren't. I gained and reconfirmed with myself that not much is going to change.
Even worse, these refs don't make all the calls themselves. Behind the scenes, a competition committee of coaches, GMs, and others who care about the games tells the refs how to call them. This isn't just a guess. League insiders have confirmed it. Refs are told what contact to allow, what fouls to watch, and what style fits the league's image. It's not always about fairness. It's about control.